it's the fault of the forms designers and that we're not even asking the right questions about risk and sustainability of that valuation.
Yeah, I think I feel like I have this conversation pretty much every time a client doesn't agree with a value conclusion,
Right.
what have you, is that you look at market value as sort of this pendulum where when it's shaken, when it's not hit too hard with any external economic conditions, it's not moving too much. But and so there's a definitive trend when there's not a whole lot of external factors influencing pricing and whatnot. But when you hit it really hard, right, on one end, which is kind of what we've done right now with interest rates and whatnot, it starts moving like this. It starts moving dramatically in every direction. I guess right now it's difficult because market value is a range. It's not a point, which is maybe misunderstood by a lot of the users of appraisal reports and certainly owners of property. But to communicate that market value is a range and that we're essentially limited by the available data at a given point in time, and I think that's an important part as well, is that we're limited to a certain point in time. We're not predicting future events and all these sorts of things or whatever. We're trying to basically monitor and report on human behavior and all these sorts of things. But I think pertinent to the article is that right now this pendulum is shaking pretty hard on either end, so that the reasonable range of value might be much wider, for instance, than it was maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, and so you could credibly support, and that's the point of a market value appraisal, is to credibly support your position, not to prove anything, or not to prove price, or not to prove value, but to support it. And so you can still credibly support value within this range. And I think one of the comments that I've been saying or have been hearing is that sellers are pricing as if they're still living in 2021 and buyers are underwriting as if they're living in 2023. So it's this whole concept of price discovery where nobody's really agreeable on price, this pendulum swinging, but then ultimately in a few months or potentially years in a volatile market like this, we'll have some agreements on price. So
yeah, you'll know 6 months from now.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
If you offered the right price on that house that you have under contract or not, for sure.